Well, I say every day. It's a getting closer to taking a bath with my fucking toaster.
We're not qualified.
Explorers in the further regions of experience.
Did you not listen?
Then the hell with you.
Greetings, salutations, and welcome into the 179th episode of Screaming Into the Void, the show where we talk about whatever the hell we feel like. My name is Samuel the Infamous, and joining me so far today is Caucasian Sasquatch.
Here I am.
He's going to break his voice today. We are live. We are everywhere you can think of that's not like everywhere else. YouTube, Twix, Rumble, all those places. If you're in the comments or watching the show anywhere, drop a comment. Let us know you're here. Right before I say hello to the chat, it is funny because I'm watching the intro, right? Show kicks on, intro plays. It's playing. We know that there's like a 3-second delay from the StreamYards to the streaming platforms, right? So we're watching it a little bit ahead of you guys. We're actually speaking a little bit ahead of you guys because there is a delay to the platforms. But I noticed something. I've got both Rumble and YouTube pulled up right now, and there's actually about a half-second delay between them too.
Yep.
Rumble's a little bit slower on the uptake. So you guys over on Rumble, if you're watching over there, you could be just a little bit behind, which I never noticed before. I don't know why, but just something that caught my eye. So far in the chat, we've got Jacob Gallo, howdy, and Old Blindy, Yakub can't breathe. Yeah. So you probably didn't see this last night, Sasquatch, but Larry made a big deal about Jacob Gallo going on Chaotic Truth the other night. Because a guy named what the fuck, Yakub Lloyd was on there.
or
Floyd. Yeah, Yakub Floyd.
Did I ever tell you about my first trip up on the Chaotic Truth panel?
Hey, Zillage, good to see you.
It's a good one.
I don't think so, but we can get into that in just a second. Lawrence Knight, howdy. Kick is almost 10 seconds faster than YouTube. Yeah, I mean, I would believe it. So, shoot, let me know. Tell the story, if you will.
Okay. So I'm at Chaotic Truth. I do production for the Powdered Dusty. And he popped up over there for a minute and we talked. He was like, you ought to come over to the panel. Do the same kind of thing, yada yada. And so a week or so later, I caught him live. I was home alone with nobody around. And I decided to go up on panel. And poof, just as I click the button, my wife shows up, walks in and hands me a couple of cookies wrapped up in a paper towel. I'm like, oh, cool fucking cookies, right? Bring me milk. She's like, okay, all right. She brings me some milk, and I eat a cookie while I'm sitting backstage, and they're doing their thing. And finally, he gets around to bringing me up, and I introduce myself and say hi and all that stuff. And then things start going horribly wrong. I'm hearing the conversation, and I'm realizing I'm in a very racially charged atmosphere. And for some reason, I'm thinking I'm not prepared for this, and I get more and more nervous. And I'm on cam. You can go watch this on his channel. It's still up. I slowly melt down visibly. I slide back in my chair and I ease down like a teenager who just smoked one too many doobies. A lost look in my face. My eyes glazed over. And my wife comes in. It's like, mute the mic. I mute the mic. She's like, don't eat but about half of one of those cookies. They came from the dealer. I ate both of them, bro. I ate both them bitches back to back. And I did it in the time it took her to go out to the car and go like get her keys or whatever. I was like, oh, fuck. On camera, you see me look up at the camera with like this absolutely terrified look. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't be here anymore.
Oh, damn, Mrs. Squatch, if you're out there listening, dude, you gotta lead with that shit.
Right?
You can't just hand a man cookies and expect him not to eat them.
Those things mean as hell, bro. They're mean as hell. And CT seemed to know that something was up because when I was like, man, I can't be here anymore. I gotta go. He was like, yeah, okay. All right. He saw it happen visually on cam. I reached over and cammed down and tried to figure out how to turn off StreamYard.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking funny. I've only been on panel with Chaotic Truth once or twice. Been backstage with him, I think, a handful of times more than that because he's friends with Amira, and all that. But you know, he always seemed like a pretty nice guy to me, for the most part. You know, considering the sphere that he rocks in. You know,
yeah, he tends to attract a certain type, though. Now, I'm not saying that's good or bad, but it's certainly controversial.
Oh yeah, it certainly is. I mean, you can't be on BlackTube and chill for the white man like that and not get some pushback.
I mean, you can't chill on BlackTube as a white man and not just fucking just enjoy the ride, bro. Just enjoy the ride.
I would tell you about. I think I might have. Did I ever tell you about my my experience on the Lapeef network?
I don't guess so.
So,
hey, welcome.
It pops up in the most unlikely places.
Oh yes.
So,
like the back of a VW Beetle.
Yeah, like the back of a Volkswagen. Very uncomfortable places. So speaking of uncomfortable places, years ago, before I was doing this on my channel, I did a few guest panels elsewhere, you know, and that's sort of how I got a taste for it, which I've been over ad nauseum on the show here in the past. But at that time, my avatar was something totally different, which was what is it? I might still have it. Let me see if I can find the fucking thing. No, I don't see it on here. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Please tell me it was Pee Wee Herman with tentacles.
No, it was Pinhead face palming.
Close enough.
Yeah. Yeah, and it looks like the nails are coming through the back of his hand and shit and all that. And it was glorious. It was a great fucking PFP. But that was the one that I was using for a while. It's actually straight out of one of the Hellraiser comic books. It's actually a fucking full page splash panel from one of them.
Nice.
So anyway, I do that, and at the time I was still going by Hentai Surprise on online. So you couple that name with that PFP on a BlackTube channel where white guys almost never go up on the panel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, this is tasty, delicious.
Yeah. So and Amiro at the time was contracted to run a show for them on Sundays on that channel, and this was that show where she talked mostly about like relationship shit and like East versus West kind of dynamics and that sort of thing. And so I went up there because I don't even remember what the topic was. I think it had something to do with divorce, and I, having been at that time fairly recently divorced, you know, I had some shit to share and all that stuff. But I never cammed up, which is something that they really discourage over there. They prefer everybody to have their face out there in the open, which is fine. You know, it's whatever. It's their house, their rules. But I never did. So
want to know your skin color. That's why.
Oh, that's part of it. That's part of it. The other part of it is they want to know who they're talking to, and I kind of understand that. So I'm sitting there, I'm telling whatever story I was fucking telling, and the chat starts going like, "Oh, wait a minute. This guy sounds white." And I see some of these comments, and they're just like, "This Caucasian, this guy white, this guy snow monkey," and I'm sitting here, and I'm just like, okay, well, and eventually I was just like, yes, I'm white mostly. It's like, what's your point?
You should have just said you were code switching.
None of this had any. Well, this was before I knew what code switching was, man.
Yeah.
Because as it turns out, that's not really a thing in the white community. So
nope.
we don't have that. You know?
Yeah, no. we don't talk differently to different people based on skin color. Although
Yeah.
I will confess to speaking South Atlantan when I'm in South Atlanta, and speaking Savannah when I'm in Savannah, and speaking Athens when I'm in Athens, or if I'm talking to somebody from those places. That has nothing to do with race and everything about being understood.
Well, that's like just having an adaptive accent, isn't it?
I guess so.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah. So depending on who I'm talking to and for how long, like if I'm surrounded by a bunch of fucking Brits, I might start affecting a pseudo, British accent, and it's not intentional at all. It's just like I tend to mimic the speech of people around me, right?
Yeah.
But hey, that's not Jay Gallo. That's because Jay Gallo doesn't have the key to the backstage. So hi, Larry.
What are you talking about? I'm Jacob Gallo.
Why are you gay?
I'm the hormone monster, but I'm not fairy.
We're still on this. Okay. Hey, Vagabond, welcome in. Good to see you, man. I know,
So,
right? Like how will you live? I'm and again mostly white. Like I'm a little bit red, but mostly white.
I'm mostly green.
I'm mostly Scottish.
Yeah,
Irish,
just to say,
I'm a mutt, one of those
Yeah.
white mutts, I guess.
Yeah.
what? And that's that was one of those things that I always thought was really funny about people going around talking about like you see that shit where all those celebrities, those black celebrities, were getting their DNA tested, and all of them were coming up with some white in their ancestry. And like
Yeah.
my personal favorite was LeVar Burton because he flipped the fuck out. I'm just sitting here. He's like, that can't be. And I was just like, how long's your family been in this country, man? There are no purebreds anymore. We're all a little mixed.
Yeah.
So when they hate my whiteness, do they not hate the point freaking whatever percent African I am? I don't know. These are the questions we ask each other. So this is the kind of thing I have a conversation with my black side chick. I will literally sit down and put on one of these things on like the TV while she's over there scrolling through crap. I'm over here scrolling through crap. And I just let that race baity bullshit play. And every now and then I'll look over at her and be like, is that a thing? Is that something that happens? You're like, these motherfuckers crazy as hell. They're putting way too much credit in some bullshit they saw online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking Zillage just saying, I was kind of forced to code switch. I hate talking Ebonics. I mean, Ebonics
But
is
just
one
don't,
thing,
man.
but have you tried Honky Bonics? Sasquatch knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Careful there. You don't hurt yourself.
You got
Oh man, yeah. Like, well, I was down by the creek and walk my horse down there, and
Yeah. Just
to make
picture
drink of water.
Boomhauer.
but the water wasn't no good because there was a bear upstream, and that bear he just done a big old doo doo, number 2, right in that creek, and it made the water all not good. Anyway, I'm not going to continue with that because I was just sort of making that up as well.
I was thinking more along the lines of, well, we're going down about a drink. We got a bit of a drink. Next thing you know, I was over there with a stick, with a whipping cream.
Yeah. It's just Boomhauer.
What's really funny to me? I never
That's
put this
pretty good.
together. I never put this together before. So a lot of people have been coming out and saying recently how Boomhauer is very understandable to them because they grew up in Oklahoma, right? Here's the thing. My mother said to me many fucking years ago, she was like, I know people who talk like Boomhauer. I know people. I grew up around people who talk like Boomhauer, and I never put that fucking together because my mother is from Oklahoma originally.
Yeah.
And apparently that's where that particular it's not even an accent so much as it is a dialect.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but apparently that's where that particular form of it comes from. Boomhauer is an Oklahoma transplant to Texas. So, which I guess makes sense. I guess. But yeah, no, honky-bonics is a very real thing. It just doesn't get the same amount of press.
And the PR on it is way worse.
Right? Right?
This is wild.
Yeah.
This is absolutely crazy. I'm sorry.
No, fair enough. Anyway, Boomhauer slow talking. Yeah.
Sorry, bro. I'm from Georgia. I'm not from Oklahoma.
Yeah, they don't talk fast in Georgia ever.
If we do, there's something horrible going down. You need to fucking down up, bro. We ride at dawn.
Usually there's meth involved.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, you might have a point there. It's not that bathtub shit from LA. It's like
it's the good crank. It's the mythical Nazi crank.
Right.
Yeah. The good shit.
So like there's some basis to that whole thing too. And again, so we have a bunch of fucking topics to cover today, and one of the main ones we're definitely going to get to, but this is just too fucking juicy for me. So there's a conspiracy theory among addicts, right? About not what they call Nazi crank, right? And essentially that comes from the fact that the Nazi scientists did in fact basically invent modern methamphetamines, because the idea was to keep their soldiers awake and alert for like weeks at a time in the field. And
actually, hold on. The point of it was to have a 8-hour block of absolute alertness so that someone on guard or whatever would never flag. What happened was blitzkrieg.
Yeah. So anyway, so the myth that goes around in drug circles is that recipe, that original recipe, which is supposed to be the primo like amphetamine concoction ever, right? It's all been downhill from there.
Yeah.
And because it's chemically manufactured, I could kind of see that. Whereas like with marijuana, obviously the government got involved in breeding new strains that were much more fucking potent than it used to be in the wild.
Pharmaceutical grade.
Right. But I mean, that's eugenics. That's not so much chemistry. And anyway, so the theory is that the recipe was lost to time after the Nazis lost the World War, right? But that it's out there somewhere. It's out there somewhere.
There's a small camper about 1.5 miles behind your house where Rico, Tonto, Chico, and Beverin are currently cooking up a fresh batch of shit. And no one will ever find out about it because they never leave. They just make another batch and stay up.
Right. So, I mean, and there are obviously variants on this. Like you talk about like, yeah, I think I brought this up on last week, the bathtub peanut butter thing. So it's not actually peanut butter. It's just called that because it sort of looks like fucking dehydrated peanut butter.
Mm-hmm.
It's like fucking gravel mud or whatever. Anyway, technically it's amphetamine, but it's also like,
ammonia.
Yeah. Anything you make in a bathtub isn't going to be the same as a pharmaceutical grade drug. It's never going to be.
Anyway, so that stuff, like it'll do the job, but like
a couple of chefs that'll blow your fucking mind and your heart out.
Sweet.
Yeah. So, but there are others like I don't know. Sasquatch might have heard of this.
Yeah, Mountain got a documentary on A&E, bro. Like,
you ever hear of rocket fuel with the yellow crystals?
Bro, we had that fucking lemon sunshine for a little while down here. Actually, no, fuck that one. That story's kind of lame. Let me tell you the funny one. So I did meth for years, and I had a particular dealer. He was very reputable. And after I quit, whatever, dude, laugh all you want. He's reputable, all right? He never turned me in. So a couple of years, like 3 or 4 years after I quit, I'd been clean. One of my neighbors, I was living at this place across town, and one of my neighbors shows up, knocks on the door, sits down on the couch, and is like, "Hey man, you ever heard of any chocolate quick?" And I was like, "Yeah, like the drink." And he's like, "Nah, check this out." And he busted out some crap, cooked that shit up, and it tasted and smelled exactly like Hershey's Quick. And I didn't say a word. I pulled my phone out, remembered the number, and dialed my dealer because I had deleted it from my phone because I was clean at the time. And I called him up direct, and he answered the phone and was like, Sasquatch, how are you doing, brother? I ain't heard from you in a while. And I was like, you motherfucker, how dare you sell me that diesel fuel tasted bullshit that eats holes in your motherfucking skull? Why are you even? And he's like, oh shit, I'm like, what, dude? What the hell?
Right.
And I immediately went over there and took him some of that stuff. It was like, you fucking suck, dude.
It's, you know,
he laughs so
impressive.
hard.
It's impressive that he got it to smell and taste like that too, because it's like in my experience. Mom, shut your ears. It almost always tastes invariably like some combination of like Ajax and CLR.
Jesus.
The best explanation I've ever heard of specifically sniffing, snorting, was having somebody punch you in the face with lit gasoline and battery acid.
yeah, essentially. Yeah, that burning sensation, that's actual chemical burns.
Yeah, that's a feature. That's a feature.
It's a feature, not a bug.
Right. That's actually how you know that it's real. You hit that shit and it goes down. You're like, damn, they slipped coking on me.
Yeah. I mean, look, I my drug days are long behind me, right? But at the time, there was a bit of a rivalry, kind of like the Xbox PlayStation rivalry, you know, but between coke users and meth users about which was superior. And I was always on the one side rather than the other, because like after all the chemical burns and the wildness that came with that, I mean, coke kind of tastes like a whole lot of nothing.
Well, I mean, you'd already burned off all of those freaking receptors, dude. Like, it's not that it's nothing.
Yeah, you got no sinuses left.
But I was always like, man, if I just, I could replicate this same flavor by licking under my couch,
It's not wrong.
It tastes like dust.
Let's see if I can do this. I'm gonna try to do this. I got the Powdered Dusty over there has a recorded conversation between a group of two people who had done some drugs and two people who had either not done coke or not done meth. And
I feel like we should have the medical warning thing at the bottom again, just to.
Right. Somebody asked.
This is not medical advice.
real quick before we continue. Welcome in the dumbfounded dipshits. And again, I gotta say that is a beautiful fucking handle. I love it.
I love it.
Yep.
Puts me in mind of one of my favorite songs by Tool. There's that exact line is used in it.
Yep.
But
yeah, that's an awesome fucking name.
I hear tell they're good people. I don't know how much I've interacted with them.
Yeah,
I hear tell they're good people. So the conversation's going on and it's kind of flowing liquidly from one topic to the next. And somebody asked just kind of randomly, so what's it like to do meth? And Dusty's response was, can I put my socks in your dryer?
Mm-hmm.
Can I hold a lighter? Do you have a lighter? Do you want a lighter? Are you using your car tomorrow? Do you have a flashlight? And the thing is I swear to God, I've heard that exact exchange of conversation take place in real life. And I started crying, laughing. And he was he was trying to show me these shorts he had made out of it. Wanted to know if he uploaded them. Did I think he'd get a strike or something? And I couldn't even answer him because I was laughing so hard. I was like, dude, hey, I own that shit. Stat.
Right. Never, ever give your lighter to a crackhead.
Can I hold your cell phone?
No.
It's on my mom.
No. We had the added benefit when with like, because you occasionally find lighters in the wild, right? Just left around, whatever, in public squares and whatever. Never, ever, ever. If you live in a bigger city, this was a big problem back in the early 2000s in certain locations. Never, ever, ever use a lighter that you found just sitting on a fucking park bench. Never do that, because only a handful of things can come of that. Either one, it's out of fluid, and that's why it was left there, and they were too lazy to throw the fucking thing away, and it's useless anyway. But some sick motherfuckers out there will rig them to explode in your hand, which is less common because that usually requires a certain amount of expertise. Mm-hmm. Some dudes, and this was happening, I think, in Seattle a lot at the time, but it was in other places as well, will take infected needles and put them just underneath the thumb depressor.
What is wrong with people?
Yeah.
And that's how you get AIDS.
Among other things. Among other things. Yeah. I'd be more worried in that instance of like, fast acting Ebola, but
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of in the opinion, along with the meteorite, just get it over with, go ahead, hit us, do it. Alien invasion, bring it. I think they do a better job than we do.
I kind of think so, and that sort of leads us into
that feels like a segue.
Yeah, that's sort of.
I am going to fight them. Don't misunderstand. But I'm saying let's go ahead and get the process underway so we can get over all this bullshit that's going on now.
Sure. Yeah. All Fallen Skies over here, which is like the poor man's Independence Day.
Yes. Dude, it's great. It's wonderful. It's better than all that bullshit until you get halfway through the second season.
My brother-in-law keeps telling me that I need to actually get through all of the seasons of Fallen Skies, but I can't. It lost me around the end of the first season. I was just bored.
The first season
it is, yeah. The early seasons are kind of slow, but it does pick up. It does get better.
He keeps telling me
I'm a big history buff, bro. I really dig history. I really seriously dig an American history of war professor being involved in a revolt in fucking Boston, dude, in Massachusetts. Yeah. It's literally the same militia unit that initially joined George Washington. Sure, and that's really a large portion of why it's such an interesting story from a historical perspective, is they're running around Massachusetts having battles in the same locations that Revolutionary War took place. And if you're not a big history buff, it loses its luster.
I wasn't attached to the characters. It was a whole thing. I mean, maybe I'll get back into it at some point. The other point that I noticed though, is that it was sort of like, Red Dawn meets Aliens.
Yes.
Yeah, basically.
Not Aliens, but Red Dawn meets Independence Day.
Sure. Yeah,
because Aliens never had a chance.
In this context, I was just using the word aliens as opposed to the title of the movie Aliens, and I realized my mistake after I already said it. So,
did you ever see Revolution?
Well,
the TV show.
I don't think so.
Yes.
Again, very, very similar themes in that regard. And damn, just when it started to get real fucking interesting, cancelled.
That happens with all the best stuff, man.
I know.
That happens. Y'all remember a show with Heath Ledger way back before he was famous on Fox called Roar, about the fucking Celts and the Roman occupation of the British Isles?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Vaguely,
yeah, it was good. It was a Sam Raimi deal, but it was good, and then it got canceled.
It got transferred to like 3 different time slots before it got canceled, and so it never built a following at the time. But like as soon as that motherfucker come out, like as a stream, boom.
Yeah, that was something that I wish had stuck around a little bit longer. But anywho, onto the subject of E.T. Call and Collect.
Reds do, motherfucker.
Right. I'm sure a lot of y'all out there have seen these. I did manage to dig up a video where both responses to this particular question from both former President Obama and current President Trump were spliced into one video. Although I think they cut the Trump bit off a little prematurely at the end of it. But it's apparently we're doing this.
Well, I just want to explain that I do look forward to the aliens. I hope they come in peace, but regardless, I am going to fight them because I need someone to fight. All right, let's light this candle.
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being.
Why does everything start early?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in. What is
So
it?
Area
Area
right there,
51.
right there.
There's no.
Feigning as though he doesn't know what Area 51 is.
Well, first of all, Area 51 is just an aircraft testing zone. They don't build any of that shit there. That's all built up in Utah. But anyway,
but he's the commander in chief. Of course, he'd fucking know what it is.
This bears a question, and this is something that's bothered me ever since Area 51 became publicly known. Is there any explicable reason that they would release the location of our most secret stockpile of bullshit, and B, not be able to move it when it happened? And I came up with one answer. Do you know what a dumb base is? Deep underground military base. Supposedly there's about a half dozen of them around the country. There's 2 or 3 in Alaska. The answer I came up with after talking to a bunch of people I consider fairly deep thinkers, is the hollow earth is not what they depict as in the books, but is rather a bunch of caves that are accessible from the surface only in specific locations.
Greece.
Yeah.
But being perhaps one of them.
And
Area
Turkey.
51 being the largest direct access port. You can't, there's not enough time, men, or material to remove enough material to make a larger access point.
Well, that depends on.
Area 51 was publicly revealed as being something special, and all this alien and aircraft and all that other stuff was dumped in on top of it as disinformation to keep people from figuring out we're dealing with Atlanteans.
Well, I don't know about Atlanteans, maybe subterraneans, but the
Silurians?
Lizard people. I don't know.
That'd be
but,
cool.
That all depends on like when you talk about like largest access point. I mean, there's rumors about there being a giant fucking hole in the crust in the North Pole too.
South Pole. North Pole is ocean.
Antarctic. Yeah.
Sure, that too. But anyway, I'm just saying it's like 7 world governments control access to who goes to Antarctica and who doesn't.
Yeah. Well, it's illegal for any private individual to go there.
Yeah, they also redirect satellite traffic around it.
Yeah.
Something's there. Either they found something, or they're doing something, or something is in Antarctica.
There's international treaties and zones of control.
Yeah, I mean, I'm of a mind that they found the original location of the city of the elder things, but Mountains of Madness and all that. But anyway, I guess the reason that I stopped the video here is because the way he phrases this right at the beginning, he's like, well, they're real. I mean, I haven't seen them, but, and it's like, that sounds just like speculation.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a strange answer.
Yeah. I've seen stuff they showed me on paper and on video, but I haven't actually seen any of these things. I mean, and he makes this point as we go further in about, well, unless there's a massive conspiracy to conceal shit from the president of the United States.
Yeah.
I mean,
I have my camera on, but I do have my tinfoil hat on. So, like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I did mention this the other night on another one of the million streams I've been on this week. That when it comes to something like this, why even necessarily would information like that be accessible by the president? Somebody who's only temporarily in office.
I mean, that's
now, when it comes to the conventional military, he should know everything. But when it comes to the military-industrial complex, that's different.
So here's how, as far as we know, that works, right? Once you get inaugurated, they usher you into this little room, they sit you down, they make you watch this fucking video that explains all of the secrets America's been keeping for the last fucking 80, 90 years. And all of the stuff that they don't tell the American people. And then they tell you, you can't share this with anybody, ever.
And then this happens.
Yeah.
You know, which is weird because the president's office does come with the power to declassify information.
This also bears several questions, and I want to take them like one at a time and let y'all go run rampant across the wild fields of it first.
Sweet.
If he they're real, we can take him at face value. They're real. This bears the question: are we talking Paul or like X-Files / H.P. Lovecraft? Like, where are we at on that spectrum? Do we have a couple around here? Have we like seen them talk to them, or do we just have like incontrovertible evidence of a Dyson sphere across the universe?
Or is it just bacteria on Mars?
Right. Are they classifying life out there as alien, or?
Well, by definition, it is. You know, I mean, that's
it's the ultimate get out clause.
Right.
Yes.
You know, I mean, there's even a theory, although I don't put much stock in this myself, but there's a theory that life began on Earth due to a meteor strike that carried foreign bacteria to it.
Panspermia. Yeah.
You just like saying sperm. Shut up, dude.
He does like saying sperm. But you know, like
skate, motherfucker.
I mean, this is why I always laugh at you know, like Christian fundamentalists when they're like, oh yeah, the firmament prevents anything from going out to, you know, anywhere that's not really there. Their space doesn't exist. Space isn't real. Candace Owens, I'm fucking looking at you. And the whole idea of that is just like, well, I mean, if you take the phrase extraterrestrial, or the compound word extraterrestrial, it means not of this earth. Right?
Yeah.
Technically, God's an alien too.
Angels are aliens.
Demons, you know, like all that stuff that you do believe in.
It's a definition that includes anything outside of the atmosphere of the planet.
Right.
The only thing this doesn't cover would be parallel dimensions in which Earth also exists. Would not technically be alien, but rather outsider.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
but I mean, still, that definition applies. You know, it's like not like us. You know? So I don't know. So when you talk about like you know, fossilized bacteria that they found on Mars, which they did, by the strictest definition, so there's 100% alien life. It's just not life on the scale that we were hoping for, is all.
Yeah. It's not the kind of life that we've been, you know, programmed to think exists.
Right. But here's the thing is, if it does exist on another world, as we've seen, like with the Martian bacteria, if it does exist there, then it stands to reason that if it exists on two worlds, it exists on more than two worlds.
Yeah.
Right. Which, of course,
it's also mathematically impossible, in as far as you could say anything is impossible, that there isn't life somewhere else, given the vastness of the cosmos.
Yeah. Well, Mike Fetterman makes a point here. Nothing that evolved on any other planet would not look anything like us. So I tend to agree with that statement. I tend to think, as much as I enjoy Star Trek, everybody basically being humans with bumpy fucking noses and weird ears is probably extremely unlikely. I think that you're looking more at a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy situation where you get sentient colors of the sentient shades of the color blue, right?
Yeah,
that are at war with each other.
Yeah, things that are alien, like truly alien.
Yeah,
truly alien. Yeah.
You know,
Well, that's
And
why
Zeta
certain
Reticulans
people
bowl
love
up. Yeah.
you know, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what that would look like. I don't think any of us really know what that would look like until we encounter it. And here's the thing about that. Like if you go look at Orson Scott Card's Ender's Game, for example, right? Almost that
Mhm.
entire war began as a misunderstanding because neither species recognized the other as intelligent life.
or that they were attempting to communicate.
Because they
Yeah.
couldn't recognize how they were communicating on account of it being so vastly alien from the other side.
Right.
Right. So, I mean, I think that's probably a much more likely scenario is that we probably will at some point far, far in the future run across alien life form, but we may not recognize it for what it is.
Yeah.
You know, but these guys are saying like grays and shit are in labs and stuff. So let's continue.
Well, that's why I love the film Arrival, because it cuts to the core of that. Communication is the biggest obstacle we'd ever face.
Hold on now, because their version of communication being so vastly alien not only altered time-space continuum.
Yeah.
It altered the individual learning the language in such a fashion as to make them experience their lifespan as a single instant, and access to the different aspects of time within it were merely different thoughts and perceptions of the same event.
Yeah.
And that is such an alien, multivariate, layered concept that it's even difficult to describe it.
See, that's where I would go more with kind of what they did in Annihilation, right? Where the alien life form changed foreign entities into something that would recognize it.
Mimicry.
Right, but it wasn't just mimicking. It was actively changing terrestrial life forms to suit its purposes, right?
Yeah.
On a molecular level, it was changing us into them.
It was trying to find the difference between us and them and something in between that would work.
Are we talking the book Annihilation or the show?
I haven't actually read the books. I hear that they're pretty good, but I was referring mostly to the movie, with Natalie Portman.
In the movie, you know that whole bit with her dealing with her own clone?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Here's the thing about that. There's a lot of implication of nefariousness and evil, or at least deception being the purpose of the clone. In the book, that's explored, but at the same time, it's not depicted as being the primary reason for the duplication. And in fact, the duplicate doesn't know it's a duplicate. It thinks it's the original one too.
Yep.
So even if the question of whether or not the duplicate or the original comes home is immaterial, besides the fact that if it's the duplicate, it will be continuing the work of the what do they call it? The crystal, the shatter, the sparkle, the shimmer.
Yeah, the shimmer.
Will be continuing the work of the aliens without ever knowing that it is, by altering the people that it encounters. And if it's the original, she's contaminated with the shimmer and will also be contaminated.
Fuck's sake, vagabond.
I'm quietly shaking my head behind my avatar here.
God damn it.
Yeah. But anyway, let's continue on with the video here.
Excellent.
Underground facility, unless there's this enormous conspiracy and they hid it from the president of the United States.
What was the first?
All right, I want you to look at that man's body language. Hold on.
Conspiracy, and they hid it from the president of the United States.
See that look?
Mm-hmm.
Is that deception or pleading?
He does sort
That
of
looks
look
like fear.
He does sort of look like he's got a gun to the back of his head, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Like I just said,
A gun in the
something
shape of his
very,
husband's
very
dick.
important. Do what?
A gun in the shape of his husband's dick.
I don't know, but
A
He's got
dangling dong.
the look on his face of someone who has just said something very, very important, but also knows this person is not going to understand what was important about it. Right?
You know, so he did do something that was important here and all that. Now, here's the thing: up until when he did this interview, nothing had been declassified on this front, right? And Trump's response to this is correct. He should not have been fucking talking about this as former president of the United States.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just saying his body language appears to be that of someone who is comfortably speaking on a topic that they at least accept what they're saying about it.
Right.
What was the first question you wanted answered when you became president?
Where are the aliens?
Where were the aliens?
Do you believe that?
No, I don't. I think he was saying that for, comedy's sake, for like a I don't know, tension breaker.
Right. And I believe that.
Obama said that aliens are real. Have you seen any evidence of non-human visitors to Earth?
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
So aliens are...
Did you see the chick? Watch the chick behind you.
Yeah.
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
So aliens are real.
You see her chew that smile down?
Mm-hmm. She's just like, oh, he is fucked.
Classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
Bing. Nope, don't
I
smile.
don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
That is Caroline Levitt, right?
I think so.
He took it out of classified information. No, I don't have an opinion on it. I never talk about it. A lot of people do. A lot of people believe it.
Yeah, Zillage. I think that's Caroline Levitt. Is it Carolyn or Caroline? I don't know. I go back and forth on that.
I will call her mommy if she asks me to. That woman is fine.
I don't think she's quite as hot as his last blonde secretary,
Sure.
but she's a pretty good looking woman. Healthy.
That's a damn fine woman there.
Childbearing hips, you know what I'm saying?
Know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying I wouldn't kick her out of bed for eating crackers, especially if I was the cracker.
Right. So I'd have to ask her to leave her cross on the bedside table so she could lie to me.
Right. Yes, sir. I'm not even interested in the truth anymore. Just give it to me, baby. But look at how happy that woman is. This is a press secretary who's going to have an absolute ball at the next press conference. This is a case of if you love your work, you never work a day in your life.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you believe it, Peter?
Well, the president can declassify anything that he wants to. So
Well,
if you
maybe I'll
want to
get him
make
out
an
of trouble.
announcement,
I may get him out of trouble by declassifying.
Yeah. So Trump makes a good point here. Obama shouldn't have been saying what he said. However, Trump also didn't say, no, it's not true.
Exactly.
Right. Nothing he said there was a fucking denial. He said, well, he shared classified information. Honestly, at that point, what Trump should have done, because I think that was probably handled poorly in the moment there too, as far as classified information goes, should have said, like, I don't know anything about that. Right. And that the only problem is that goes directly against this whole fucking transparency thing, because he'd be lying to the American public about a direct fucking question about classified information.
Yeah.
Well, he did a very excellent non-answer.
But it was almost a confirmation by denial.
True,
Yeah.
but at the same time, the absolute he didn't get the deer in the headlights look that you'd kind of expect. Instead, he got the oh shit, this again.
Yeah.
You mean like the previous clip of Reek from fucking Game of Thrones?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I don't know Game of Thrones, man. That reference is lost on me.
All right, cool.
I never watched it. I never read it. I never had any interest in it. So
You should watch A Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
I keep hearing people saying that's a good show. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the better shows. It's the best show that I've seen since The Expanse.
Really?
And with one of the smallest budgets as well.
Is it going to fall off like The Expanse did and turn into
if it gets money, it might.
Fucking polycules and spaceships and shit for like fucking 3 straight episodes while they got bigger problems to deal with, like Marco Inaros and the fucking meteors he's chucking at Earth?
Dude.
I was really fucking unhappy with season 5 of The Expanse.
I know.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that.
So the way, all right. So there's a lot of production decisions made that are based around the budget, and they could be handled very, very badly, but they are handling it extremely well. Like anytime they've got something they can afford to do, they'll stick it in fog or do it with puppets. And puppets in the show, not like puppets that look like puppets because they don't have the money. Puppets that are in a show in the show.
Dude, they should do it with Muppets.
Oh, just give them time. I'll AI that shit.
Right.
That'd be amazing.
Wonder Bucket says if the government knows about aliens, they would have an alien file. If any kind of UFO file would be filled with unknown stuff, but if it's known, then UFO doesn't apply, right? So they stopped using the acronym UFO a while back. I don't remember what the current one is, but it's some like
UAPs.
Yeah.
Unknown aerial phenomena.
Yeah, something like that. So because they basically expanded the definition to include anything that happens to be above ground that they don't know what that is. It could be Chinese weather balloons. It could be it could be ball lightning. It could be aliens. Who knows? Kind of thing. But they expanded the
weather balloons around.
Yeah, there sure are. But yeah, so they stopped using that. So I don't know if they would actually classify it as that. But yeah, the when they say unknown, they're not talking about unknown to them. They're talking about unknown to us. If that, I just realized that was fucking completely ambiguous. When I say them, I mean the people who have the file, they know what it is. The rest of us out here who don't have the file, we don't know what it is. That's where the unknown applies.
I always wanted a wonder bucket. That's what I call my wife sometimes.
Right? Oh no.
What I mean is there may be 2 files, one for known phenomenon, another for unknown.
Totally off topic here, Sasquatch. I have to ask you, did your wife ever sit you down and make you explain the Jizz Men in Space thing?
Actually, no, but one of the people she games with, he heard me doing the Jizz Man from Space thing, and the next day she was playing with him again, and he found out I was in the room and was like, I gotta know what the hell is this? She tried to tell me, and she was like, yeah, I'm kind of curious too, bud. And I had to explain the whole thing about the fact that out of all of the shit that NASA puts out, the most unbelievable part is that no one's ever jizzed on camera in space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If they will show the footage, release the files, I will take off my tinfoil hat, sir.
Yeah. Oh, that makes
best believe there's some space geek out there.
Right. Well, that makes sense. Wonder Bucket. What do you mean is there may be 2 files, one for known phenomena and another for unknown. So maybe people are asking for the wrong one. No, I'm with you on that. That's entirely possible. Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah, that could be the thing. That could be. I don't know, man. I don't know. But anyway, in light of that, like the next day, Trump put out a statement saying he is declassifying shit. And they're basically copying to this whole, we've had fucking alien corpses on ice since 47.
But is that what they're saying? Or are they saying that, like I said, they have some evidence from, like, say, the James Webb telescope or whatever of I don't know, like I said, a Dyson sphere in some area of space that we've detected.
I think
Obviously,
there probably is something like that, but that would be much more recent. The way they talk about it, they're talking about like they've been sitting on information for a long fucking time. Because if you recall the Hubble, while it was able to produce like some pretty incredible images for the time and all that stuff, they were nowhere near as
it was damaged.
as definitive as what we're getting with the JWST, which is, by the way, fucking incredible. If you guys haven't, like, go to NASA's website, go to the JWST website and check out some of the fucking things that they've been taking snapshots of and shit. It is fucking amazing. As a matter of fact, one of the backgrounds that I use for a different podcast, I'm going to bring it on here just for a second because I think it's cool as shit, is actually one of the earlier images captured by this. This is called the Phantom Nebula or the Phantom Galaxy. I forget which, but anyway, it's basically, they found this spiral galaxy and they took such a detailed image of it. It's just fucking incredible stuff. I highly recommend going and checking that out if you're into like space porn at all, which I am.
Isn't that the one that some people refer to as the Eye of God?
Some people might, yeah. I haven't heard that in particular. I usually hear more people referring to the Pillars of Creation. It sort of looks like a giant hand in space. Kind of thing. Is that sort of thing like the hand of God or whatever? But
doesn't all of this just lend itself to evidence of God having a sense of humor?
Either that or it lends itself to evidence of Azathoth being a thing.
I mean, yeah, sure, we can go with like the old ones, but I was kind of hoping to get past that without actually having to face my own madness.
Right. But here's the thing. Like even Azathoth is while he is the oldest and most powerful and blah 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 and all that stuff, he is the blind idiot god. The one you got to worry about is Yog-Sothoth, who knows the gate, who is the gate and the guardian of the gate, who basically encompasses all things. Right.
I am the key master.
Yeah.
This is fucking fragging out. Y'all gonna have to handle this for a little while.
All right, fair enough.
Heimdall on crack.
Yeah. So, well, if Heimdall also was the very universe that he was observing at the same time, maybe. As Yog-Sothoth is a little bit bigger of a concept than Heimdall.
Yeah, hence the crack.
Yeah. So, but anyway, either way, I think it's it certainly lends to the idea that we don't know yet.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like I forget exactly how this goes. So one of my brothers used to explain it to me like this. He's like, he took a regular, 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and he put a single pinpoint dot on it, and he says, "This is the known." Yeah. And then he drew a circle around that, a little 2-inch circle around that. He says, "This is the unknown. The rest of this paper is the unknowable."
Yeah.
Yeah, we're probably not going to roll out of bed tomorrow and unscrew the inscrutable.
Right. So, and unless we experience a severely massive leap in intelligence and brain evolution, I doubt that we're even going to scratch the fucking surface. But that doesn't stop us from trying.
Do you remember when Donald Rumsfeld gave his unknown speech and he got ridiculed for it?
Mm-hmm.
It was actually quite correct. There are known knowns, there are known unknowns, and there are unknown unknowns.
Right. Hell, if we take life in the universe as a given, which of course Enrico Fermi had something to say about, but where is everybody?
Are you familiar with the dark force theory?
Okay. Maybe.
The premise is, and this was I can't remember who put it forward, but it was based around the concept of medieval villages and how it was possible for two medieval villages to be closer to each other than their respective nation capital and not know each other existed because there's no road of communication through the forest, right?
Yeah.
And so while village A is on the east side and village B is on the west side, they have no knowledge of each other because the forest is so deep and dark and dangerous to go through that there's just no way of communicating or even acknowledging each other's existence. But you have to pay taxes to some cocksucker in a castle 800 miles away.
Yeah. Who knows the path to the villages.
Right.
But the villages don't know how to get to each other.
Fuck, this reminds me of a movie called Absolutely Anything.
Yes. Oh my God. As much as I hate that film, I actually like it.
I like that movie a lot. It's funny.
Well, there's parts of it that I hate because it's so unbelievably overbearingly woke to an extreme that it almost horseshoes around to being based.
Yeah. I kind of see that. I don't know. I wasn't really looking for it when I was watching that because this was a Pythons thing, and I was just like, yeah, all right, I'll check it out. And I know that Simon Pegg has vocally been very on that side.
I think I'm thinking of the wrong thing.
Yeah.
I think I'm wrong. Is that the one with the Asian chick worshiping the holy bagel?
No. You're talking about Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah. My bad.
Which is
with Michelle Yeoh.
I also kind of like that movie too for other reasons. Fun fact: there are sausage fingers in both of them.
Yeah.
So,
also, fun fact: Michelle Yeoh actually studied at my local college.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Do they teach kung fu there?
I don't think so. No.
Well, what the fuck is she doing?
It's almost like she was training to be an actor.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, but no, in absolutely everything, basically, there's a consortium of aliens who are trying to decide whether to invite Earth into their consortium or destroy it, which is a pretty typical, sci-fi thing. Made, I think, initially popular by the day the Earth stood still back in the 50s. Not the dog shit Keanu Reeves remake. But so in order to see what happens, they decide to give one random Earthling the power to do, and I quote, absolutely anything. Right? They basically give like omnipotence to this one like schlub played by Simon Pegg. Yeah. He doesn't realize he has it all that. At one point, he's like, oh, God, I wish I could understand my dog. And the dog starts to talk and is voiced by Robin Williams. Which is, it's a whole thing. Anyway.
Makes sense. Sure.
And the whole point is to see what he does with this power and then judge the entire planet based on this one person's actions. Right. And that's how they go about doing that. The twist is that the consortium of aliens are absolutely evil. So
yeah,
it's just, but it's a fun movie. But that's kind of what that makes me think of, is like there's sort of
it's a pretty poor metric to judge anyone by as well, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Let's take one person and judge everybody based on their actions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and all the supreme aliens are voiced by Python alum.
Yeah.
So the level of communication, if we're talking microbes on Mars, that's going to be kind of piss poor and lukewarm. Nobody's going to care about that. If Paul shows up and does a press conference, if the Greys walk out and start waving to motherfuckers, that's going to have an effect.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, here's the thing. All right. The at least in pop culture, right, the excuse has always been the populace isn't ready for this. There will be panic in the streets and all that stuff. I am not sure that that's the case. Although one could make an argument that, given what we know about Operation Mockingbird and all that, that there's a possibility that the last like 40 years of fucking science fiction has been to psychologically prepare humanity for the possibility.
Yeah.
But I'm not convinced that people will panic when they discover life that's not from here, the intelligent life in particular. I think there's going to be some pushback, obviously, because certain worldviews and certain belief systems don't allow for that. But I don't think anybody will be like psychologically so scarred by it that they go into panic mode and start looting in the streets. And in some parts of the world, they're already fucking looting in the streets.
Yeah, they do it anyway. Who cares?
So
the truth matters more than anything else.
Yeah, but I file this under the whole, globalist elites deciding what's best for fucking everybody kind of nonsense anyway, and I don't hold to that as it is.
Yeah,
kind of thing. But I don't know. I think if the news were to come out, there might be some freaking out. Sure, right. The biggest problem that presents with a lot of people is the idea that we are not, in fact, alone in the universe. And if we're not alone in the universe, that casts some shade on the, we're the center of it kind of ideology, or that we're, special and apart and above all other things in creation. It does cast some doubt on that. And I think that right there might cause a crisis of faith in some people, but I don't think it's going to cause like worldwide panic.
I mean, certain people abandoned that idea hundreds of years ago, but other people still haven't.
Right. And honestly, I mean, the way I see it, I don't think it contradicts anything at all. I just think that if a creator's going to create, why would he stop creating?
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're not still special. It's like somebody, hey, both Larry and I, and I know Sasquatch is a parent. I don't know how many kids you got, but like we have more than one children. We have more than one child, right?
He's very prolific.
I love both of my childs. They're both special to me. It's not like the fact that both exist does not diminish the other,
Yeah. Yeah.
So, is the way I look at it. But I think, I don't know, maybe it's time. If we have definitive proof, I think it should be made available.
I would hope it actually makes people rethink our position in the cosmos.
Yeah.
And to rethink the way that we think of other life forms too.
I think that might be a basic problem with the idea of humans thinking of alien life. Is I'm not sure we can even conceive of something alien enough to be considered alien.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe there's a whole, like I said, a whole conglomeration of or federation of planets, if you will, out there somewhere that we're completely unaware of. Maybe they're completely unaware of us.
Maybe.
I can't remember which author it was. You know how Orson Scott Card had the Ansible communication, the faster than
yeah.
One of them suggested that there was, a gravity type or some what do they call them, Higgs boson or some method of faster than light communication that we just haven't encountered. We don't know how to perceive it. And so whatever's going on out there, it would be like a marine biologist who looks for new species of life in the oceans that misses the fact that there are 3 different new species of firefly in his freaking garden,
Yeah.
Just doesn't look in the nearby creek.
Right. Mr. Grant Gregory. So I didn't hear the answer. Which one of the 2 kids is a favorite? So here's the thing about that. I don't have a favorite. I'm always going to say I don't have a favorite, and nothing you can say or do will convince me or coerce me into saying that I have a favorite, because that's untrue. So I ignored you.
How that works.
I didn't not answer your question. I straight up ignored it.
He just trumped the question.
as it goes. So anyway, but yeah, Trump announced he's going to declassify everything that they have on that front, which I mean, fuck it. I say we declassify fucking everything. Why not? We're just going to start throwing things out willy-nilly. Why not?
Yeah.
Obviously that's a silly policy. You can't declassify literally everything. That would be bad. But
yeah, that might, maybe not absolutely everything.
Yeah, like our plans for Canada.
Yeah. Moving on.
yeah, moving on. Now, so I loaded up a bunch of shit. Sasquatch loaded up a bunch of shit for me, and I honestly, I don't. Some of this might be a little back and forth. I do have down the road somewhere the actual statement that Trump put out about that, but I mean, you know, we know he said it. It's out there. It's pretty easy to find. You don't have to take my word for it. Oh yeah. Okay. Winter weather.
Speaking of aliens.
Speaking of aliens, and speaking of, we're about to witness communism in action.
Is it the sign language interpreter over here that looks like he smoked 2 doobies right before he walked up?
He does look a little bit like I don't know. Yeah, he looks a little stoned. No, it's not him. It's Donnie's actual announcement for the incoming inclement weather on the East Coast.
All right, to clarify, this is an individual who is at the helm of the largest mega city on the East Coast, and he has recently reversed several things that allow people to exist freely on the street.
Mm-hmm.
And that was what, 2 weeks ago?
Yep,
right,
and 19 fucking people died.
Right. So, I mean, war crimes, bring them up on a crimes against humanity.
And we're utilizing 33 DSNY vans and 2 DSNY buses to transport shovelers where they're needed faster. And for those who want to do more to help your neighbors and earn some extra cash, you too can become an emergency snow shoveler. Just show up at your local sanitation garage between 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. tomorrow with your paperwork, which is accessible online at nyc.gov/snow, and you can get started right away. And we're utilizing 33 DSNY vans and
is that
so?
Okay.
Yeah. Just below that, just below the tweet that's got the video here, they actually have the requirements for your paperwork. You need 2 small photos, 2 original forms of ID plus copies, and your social security card. Almost like they want to verify who you are to shovel some snow. But this somehow doesn't apply to voting.
And where are your papers?
Papers, please. Are we the baddies?
Right. Basically, he straight up admitted that the city can't deal with what's coming. So he's saying, hey, we're going to outsource this to the people. Right. Which is, I mean, on the one hand, I kind of get it. Like the bucket brigade existed for a reason. Like, you know, you should help out your community or whatever. We, you know, in Wyoming, like people get snowed in, other citizens go to help fucking dig them out. That's just a thing. But he's trying to incentivize people to do it here, and not just to do it, but basically to do the job that the city says that they can't do, despite the fact that that is what the taxes are paid for.
Yeah.
More taxes, by the way, than the state of New York. More taxes, in fact, than the state of Florida.
Fucking Grant. Is that Paul signing?
Yeah, I don't know. It could be. Wrong city.
It
I
could
think.
be.
He's in Chicago. It's a ways away from New York, but
Wow.
But yeah, like this whole thing, this is like, oh yeah, no, we gotta get every man jack with a snow shovel out there, but you gotta prove you are who you say you are.
You have
before we let you help.
17 forms of fucking ID, bro.
You know,
you've got to pay the city to do the job yourself.
I mean, they said they'd throw some cash your way, but that is also funds that you paid into it, so they're really just giving you your money back.
I mean, that's not
What a
nothing.
garbage system, man.
No, you're right there. So we don't typically have a whole lot of snow, and we've had one powdery 4-inch snowstorm this year and another one that was like a nightmare ice storm of powdered snow that froze solid. It was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But neither one of them lasted more than like 24 hours. That was the end of it.
I live in a state where we're typically frozen for 4 fucking straight months. We've had exactly 2 snow events, and one of them was this week.
Nice.
And it's going to be gone by next week. You know, like
Yeah.
you know, almost all of the really bad fucking snow weather has missed my location entirely and just slammed into the eastern United States.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I'm wondering who has the keys to heart currently.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that, or maybe the gods just don't like what y'all are doing over there.
Hey, I mean, we have New York and Florida. I would not be surprised in the least.
Washington's over there too, man.
Yeah. But, I mean, there's also Alabama. So
Yep. Yeah, it's all, you know what? I'll take all what I said back. Like, you know, commies running New York, whatever. Right. But Alabama sins against God and nature.
I was in Alabama a few months ago going to check on an RV. And me and my wife were off in like the middle part of Alabama that no one's ever heard of. People who go in there never come back. And I figured out why. We rode for an hour straight on a road that had no intersections. And this is normal out west, right? This ain't no big, but East Coast, this is kind of unusual. An hour straight at 60 miles an hour with no intersections, no businesses, and I shit you not, nothing but churches and abandoned houses visible from the road.
Huh.
And we got 34 minutes into this and it was weird because we were actually doing a mileage check on the gas. This is the only reason I knew how long it took. And we both like kind of looked up, was like, where is everybody? And I was like, dude, I haven't seen a house in a minute. She's like, not one that's occupied. Like all of these things have trees through them and have for like since the turn of the century. Like there's a concrete church, another concrete church. Oh,
what the fuck was this? Silent Hill?
Dude, I was freaking out. I was like, man, we're never coming out of this fucking place. You're just gonna be forever driving. And the thing is the only way you could really tell the churches apart was which side of the road they were on and which way they were facing. Some were squared off south and others were squared off east.
This is all like part of the Bible Belt too, though. I mean, it's like you're going to see a lot of churches in that area.
Yeah.
Abe, you've been to the States, right?
No.
Okay. So basically the Bible Belt is this huge swath of like, you know,
I know about it. Yeah.
Yeah. The southern Midwest to the deep South. And
yeah,
there's literally a church on it. Like, you know how Starbucks is on every corner? Down there, it's churches.
Churches, liquor stores, and pawn stores, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Britain used to be the same. There were just churches every few streets.
Yeah.
Hey, okay. Now, I don't think you get quite what I'm getting at. When these churches were built, most of the people that went to them were not on things like voting registers and citizenship lists. So some of them are like 200 years old and others got put up last week and all of them are failing.
Yeah.
And also, you'd come to a single crossroads and there will be 3 churches on 3 corners and all of them are rivals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we got into a conversation on that road. I looked at it. I was like, how is it possible that there's a church every freaking quarter mile and not a single driveway off of this road? Like,
Yeah.
where are the people that go to the who built the freaking churches if there's no intersections, no driveways? There's
As soon as you see the nurses with covered up faces just slowly walking towards you, just get the fuck out.
I mean, it's either Silent Hill universe or tax shelter.
or Alabama.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's one of the creepier things. Did I ever tell you about the black-eyed kid thing that happened to me? That weird subdivision that I delivered windows to, like just there's nothing there. Whole place. All right. Oh my God, this is the other creepiest fucking shit I ever saw. Down in South Georgia, on the other side of like Waycross or fucking Brunswick or wherever it was down there, there is a city that was built and never built. They came in, they did the infrastructure, they ran the poles, they ran the wires, they did all the streets, the cul-de-sacs, the turnarounds, the roundabouts, the street lights, all of that shit. There's a convenience store and not a single feckin' house anywhere. And I don't mean a small subdivision. We're talking about an entire fucking suburb, miles of just suburb roads and nothing else. The only buildings on this entire like 15 square mile area, maybe 20, is a convenience store on the east entrance and an identical convenience store on the west entrance. And neither one of them are open. And no one lives there. And I delivered windows to this place and got lost in that motherfucker because it's not on Google Maps. Right?
That's creepy as shit.
Dude, it's being there because the whole place is covered in kudzu. Get this, except the roads. Roads were clear. And I don't mean like they were half crawling across the road and there was on the edges. No. It was like somebody come through and edged the entire fucking place last week. It was weird.
It's
so that kind of implies that people still go through there. Yeah.
But it gets weirder because in the process of getting lost, I found that other convenience store and it was identical, but not the same because of the damage and the rust patterns and stuff like that, like the breaks and cracks in the parking lot were different. It was just a different place, even though it looked the same. It was like finding two Red Rocket truck stops in Fallout. It was really weird. But here's
fucking weird.
I busted out the damn map that the guy had printed me so I could find the location, right? I'm looking at the map. I'm sitting next to that damn convenience store. And I can see there's nothing taller than a fucking dandelion anywhere forever to the fucking horizon. It blurs out in kudzu at the distance. And I'm sitting there alone, looking around, trying to figure out where I'm at. And I figure out where I'm at, and somebody goes on my window, and I like to have fucking shit myself.
No shit.
Out the window, and there's like a 12-year-old kid, kind of dirty, bike laying on its side next to the truck with the back wheel spinning. And he's like, "Hey, mister, I have a ride?"
I was half expecting you to wind down the window and he just starts going, la, 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 la.
Yeah, in the back, like, you gonna deliver that motherfucker.
It could be so much worse than that. You saw True Detective season 1, right? He rolls down the window and it's like he sees you just as I do in Carcosa.
This kid was way fucking creepier, mainly because he was there. That was the thing. I mean,
out the blue as well.
That's the thing. Is like there aren't any buildings. There's nowhere for him to be in hiding unless he was literally laying down in the kudzu beside the road.
Yeah.
Because I was looking around like, okay, That's that road. That's that road. Right. I look back down at the map, and between looking to see the road behind me versus the road ahead of me, he appears next to my truck. He didn't ride up that I saw him. I'm sitting there, bam, 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 kind of a little aggressively and hard. And I rolled the window down, and he's like, "Hey, mister, can I have a ride?" And I was like, "Where?" And he just stood there dead silent for way too long and was like, that way, and just pointed off in a random direction. And I was like, "Nah, fuck that." And I just dropped it. I didn't drive, and I didn't hit the accelerator. I just dropped it in drive and stared at him as I rolled the fuck away and went down and popped me a Yui and went back into the area. And when I come back through, which was like 2 seconds later, that motherfucker was just as gone as he was when I showed up. And that shit, I have nightmares about that fucking shit sometimes. And kid, hey kid, if you're out there and you come across this story and you know it was you, fucking do not contact me. I swear. I don't want to know.
Yeah, if you're a real person, please stay away.
Yeah.
Right? I don't care if you're the nicest motherfucker on earth. The second I see your ass and realize it's you, I've wasted your ass, dude. Do not. And it's nothing personal. I mean, I hope if it wasn't an emergency, I hope there wasn't like a fucking, I don't know. There's no reason anyone would have been out there at all. The only reason I was there was because it was closer than the Florida location they wanted us to deliver it to, which was a totally different construction site. Right? So I got sent to this one that, quote unquote, is on the docket, which is like bullshit. That shit was built in like the late freaking 80s.
Yeah.
The convenience store looks almost exactly like the one in the Jay and Silent Bob stood up in front of.
The quick stuff.
The quick stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I swear to God. All right. So one of the weird things about this place is there's street lights, but like every third or fourth one is either hanging down or is literally laying on the sidewalk next to the pole.
Huh.
Some of the poles are just laying down on the sidewalks.
And that's weird as shit, dude.
The weirdest part, and I hear what you're saying, but the weirdest part, if you know anything about kudzu, right? It was everywhere except on the roads. The sidewalks, there was like maybe a half inch of growth over the sidewalks, proving that it wasn't too hot or whatever to actually grow on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
That was it. That was it. There was nothing. All of the power lines that were still standing, most of which had fallen at some point in time, had kudzu grown all the way down them. It was fucking creepy as hell, dude. And it was bright fucking sunshine, middle of the damn day. There was nothing creepy going on until I pulled into that place and was like, why do I keep hearing the Twilight Zone theme?
Yeah.
It's just a job, you know. You're just delivering to some place that nobody, you don't care what it looks like or what's going on. You're just following the fucking lines on the map, right? And you get off into this place and suddenly Google's like, that doesn't exist. And you've got a freaking paper printout that looks like it came from a dot matrix printer. I pull open that goddamn envelope. Just like at some point in time, you know, Google Maps is going to leave you stranded. Just, you know, pull over at the convenience store and take out the map. And I was like, okay. And I did that, and it didn't help the first time because it didn't have an actual north on it that I could recognize. It took me a minute to get it turned in the right direction to figure out where I actually was. And both sides of this place were like mirror images of each other. And it was really
That's even weirder.
It was weird, dude. It was so strange. And I wouldn't have known that except I took the wrong turn right out the freaking gate, you know. And I ended up at a place that looked like it should have been on the map, but the number was wrong. And I was like, well, shit. I flipped it over. I was like, oh, it's over there. There was a kid scared the shit out of me. I might have just thrown those windows out somewhere randomly. I'm not sure.
some of the deep country places in the States are interesting that way. There's a lot of stuff out there that isn't mapped, and part of that is just because it's so fucking far out there. But part of it is because there's also jurisdictional issues with that sort of thing. Like I lived on a road in Wyoming that was just outside of the town limits. It was a small town, right? You could just walk across the fucking train tracks and you were inside the town from where I was at. But because it was technically outside of the town, the city wouldn't come out and dig us out when the snow came. And the county wouldn't do it either because they claimed that it was still technically part of the town. So there was a whole jurisdictional mess with that. And if you actually looked on the maps, my street wasn't on there on the official map. So so yeah, we had a local guy lived a couple of houses up who happened to have a fucking a scraper on his property, and he'd go out and he'd clear the roads for everybody.
That wasn't a coincidence, bro. He's lived there a while.
Yeah, no, he'd been there for a long time.
I bet you he fucks a chick on that road. I bet you.
Well, he owned property up there. So
yeah, no, that's not why he bought the scraper. Somebody over there, dude. That was his dealer or something like that.
But yeah, so you will find like the further rural you get, there's going to be places that only the locals know, and they don't always talk.
I'm fairly rural here. I mean, the county I'm in is huge, and I'm in a relatively large town right now. But where I grew up isn't very far away from here. But at the same time, there's no reason to go there except for to see me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so if you meet anybody out there, either they're from there or they're coming to see one of us, and that's kind of weird. And so you're liable to get questioned.
And one day, Sasquatch, you'll look out of your window and you'll see that little boy just stood there out in the middle of nowhere.
I swear to God.
Looking at the house, staring right at you through the window.
Drop it off, bitch. I got a sawed off. You don't understand. I ain't gonna see that motherfucker for long. Look totally different in just a second.
But before you can even get a round off, it's gone.
Better stay gone too, because I'm stationed. I swear to God, dude. I rode all the way home thinking about that kid, wondering where the fuck he went.
Dude, I might cut this entire conversation out as a single thing. This is a fascinating fucking story, man.
Yeah, no, dude, I'm gonna have nightmares tonight. Don't. I'm not gonna live.
I mean, you don't have to watch it. I'm just saying, like, I might actually take this whole thing and make like a longer clip video out of it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm just saying, right now, sitting here, I'm covered in fucking goosebumps. Now, I am sick, but that's not my usual response to it. No, dude, it was his voice. Hey, mister, can I have a ride? Where? And he was like, he had no fucking clue how to answer the question. Like he didn't have anywhere to go. Like,
did he blink
to get into my truck?
Did he blink once?
Full deliverance style.
Old Blondie, I have garlic steaks and silver on my ring, bro. Like, and I make sure to touch motherfuckers with my silver too.
Oh, demons.
You got a pretty truck, boy.
I mean, I would like to see, Larry, do you have any thoughts on any of the topics we've covered so far, or anything like that? You've been pretty quiet. Still with us?
He's not actually here. He's playing video games.
I don't know if he's even still there. He's muted. Okay. Just thought I'd ask. Anywho, no, that's a fascinating little story, man. I don't know if we can top that.
I don't. That's not a one-upsman thing. That's a pucker in my asshole type thing.
Oh, I got you. I understand. I'm just saying, I don't know that we have any topics that are gonna, and be able to follow that.
Got nothing, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
Right?
Well, we got the next tidbit of crap.
Yeah. I even forgot what the fucking order I put these in here in.
Yeah, I think you got them a little mixed up.
Oh yeah. There's the Trump statement.
Right? Would you like to read it, or you want me to?
If you click on it, make it full screen, I'll read it.
Okay, I'll do it. Says,
bit of disclosure
from Mr. Nobody, right? Didn't he used to have a YouTube channel?
He still does.
Pretty sure he did.
Oh, I have to go find it.
This might not be that Mr. Nobody.
It could be a different one.
Do you see what's happening here? A few days ago, Obama said aliens are real, and now Trump is going to release all the government files on UFOs and aliens. Everything feels scripted. Look up Project Bluebeam. You didn't hear it from me. And this is from Donald J. Trump, the real Donald Trump. Based on the tremendous interest shown, I will be directing the Secretary of War and other relevant departments and agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to the alien and extraterrestrial life, unidentified aerial phenomena, unidentified flying objects, and any and all other information connected to these highly complex but extremely interesting and important matters. God bless America. And nowhere else.
What was say it nowhere else, but yeah.
What was interesting about that clip of Trump as well is that he said, I might get him out of trouble by declassifying things. Indeed. Why would he do that?
Well,
I mean, because there's other shit you can get him into trouble for.
Or if you lock up Obama, if Obama starts talking, you know, if he goes all fucking Jimmy Carter, it would be
the peanut farmer.
Yeah, but he kind of, I think he's dead. Is Jimmy Carter dead?
Jimmy Carter's dead. Yeah, he died last year.
Yeah, he died the other year. Yeah.
So right before Jimmy Carter died, like 2 or 3 years before he died, he had, I think, a Twitter account, and he's just started posting all sorts of like wild, mad ramblings. I mean, the guy's like 10,000 years old, so no one was really.
He was 100 when he died, I think, 100 or 101.
Yeah, he was fucking ancient.
Yeah,
and he just started talking all kinds of weird stuff about. It wasn't clear exactly because it was obviously the mad ramblings of a demented mind, but aliens, other dimensions, like all kinds of stuff was like mixed in there. And the only thing I really remember about it was specifically him. First of all, he supposedly had an alien encounter in Georgia before he was president, and he would talk about that throughout his life.
Well, you see, the devil went down to Georgia looking for a soul to steal.
He was way behind. He was willing to make a deal.
You shouldn't have done that.
Hot devil jumped on history. Let me tell you what.
Started. Don't encourage him.
I mean, it's crazy. Like, I came to Jimmy Carter for peanut growing advice, not UFO shit.
Right. Well,
like, dude, I want to know about peanuts.
I mean, we look at Jimmy Carter as the nice guy, and that is the, let's fuck America real good and hard with a smile face.
I don't know, bro. Yeah. I'm allergic to peanuts, and that man put peanut butter on every single meal in schools.
He did. There was
and here's the thing. For a while there, the school was like trying to make you eat the peanut butter.
Yeah.
That shit, and I've said this before, peanut butter is spicy to me because I'm mildly allergic to it. It's not like I'm going to die if I eat it, but it'll upset my stomach a little bit and it'll make my mouth itch, and it tastes a little spicy. And the only reason I know that I'm allergic to peanut butter is I mentioned a particular type of peanut butter being spicy, and like all 10 of the people that were in the room were like, "What do you mean spicy?" And I was like, it's spicy, like hot sauce. And they're like, "No, it's not. No, it's like, I can't eat that one because it's too hot." And they're like, "It's not spicy." And I had a full-blown argument, and they all agreed. And I finally had to accept that peanut butter's not spicy and there's something wrong with me. Go to my doctor the next time I'm at the doctor. I'm like, hey, man, have you ever heard of anybody saying peanut butter is spicy? He's like, you're allergic to peanuts?
I've never heard of that.
And I was like, are beans spicy? He's like, you're allergic to pectin, a certain type of like lignin or some shit. He's like, that's specifically legumes. He's like, how about sunflower seeds? Are they spicy? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, exactly. You're allergic to legumes, bro. Like, just stay away from them.
Also, fun fact, Jimmy Carter was the originator of the D's nuts meme.
Was he?
Yeah.
Inadvertently.
Yeah.
Because what kind of peanuts do you like? D's nuts.
There you go.
Yeah. No, my only really fun fact about Jimmy Carter is the fact that he died when he was officially too old to play with Legos.
Right? That's great. I mean,
officially too old.
Yeah.
Yeah. From 4 to 99.
Yeah. Too old for that shit. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Makes me wonder if he ever actually did the hokey pokey and found out what it's all about.
Hey, maybe he did.
Yeah.
Maybe he did. Maybe he knew what it was
I bet he
all
didn't
about.
even turn
Maybe
around.
That's the secret of how he lived so long and built all those fucking habitats for humanity.
Yeah.
I guess stupid thing that I learned in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? When they're filming and meeting, the people that are there are all dancing the hokey pokey because it was the only dance that everyone, like all 200 of the people, knew when they got the extra.
Oh, really?
Watch the fucking movie, dude. They put some really dangerous music over it. They're like doing some chants and shit. But if you mute that shit, it's the fucking hokey pokey, bro.
You know.
That's hilarious to me because the most vile, evil, racist organization in history is represented by a bunch of white folks dancing the hokey pokey.
Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, that was like the only universally known dance across America for fucking ever until the Macarena came along and upset that.
Hey, Macarena.
All right.
Dude, have you seen the video on what was it? What was the dude on how the dude invented the Macarena? It was a guy who lost his keys, guy who lost his phone, doing the Macarena.
Yeah.
And there's like a party going on, and he's over there in front of the refrigerator trying to find his bottle cap opener or something.
Right.
And some dude's like, "Oh, that's awesome!" And he turns and starts doing it to the song.
Yeah.
And
checks one pocket, checks another.
1 and a 2, got no keys, Macarena.
Right. 3 and a 4, still no keys, Macarena. I wonder if there might not be some Macarena in there too.
Phone Macarena.
There are 3 different groups, and then they're anyway. I might have watched that movie too much. I'm going to watch it when I'm done here. After I take home, I got a Uber Squatch. It'll be all right.
Nuxus says that I think there's a fire near that. Be careful. Be careful. Take precautions. Do the things.
It's a fire across.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Y'all ever play Red Dead Redemption 2?
Heard about it. Never really got into it.
So there's a spotlight mission that pops up where you stumble across a bunch of clan folk out in the wild, burning a cross and having one of them hokey pokey meetings we were talking about.
Yeah, there's a moment like that in a game called The Sunken City. Also,
the first time I come across that spotlight mission, I was actually on my way to do something very specific, and so I'm like tearing hell for high water straight cross country, not paying attention to roads, and you're supposed to be lured in by following a guy, right? You're supposed to see the dude and follow him in, but I just happened straight across into the middle of the joint, and popped up on my racehorse in the middle of a clan mission, dropped a stick of dynamite in the fucking fire and kept running and killed all the motherfuckers before they ever got the scene started. And so it didn't give me a completion on it. Instead, it reset the scene the next time I come through because it happened before it could actually action. I hadn't instigated the guy coming in to start everything, and they were literally all standing stock still when I come riding in and rode over a couple of them. It was like, shit, clan meeting, threw dynamite in the fire and left.
Right.
And I got to do it all over again later because it didn't register that anything had happened. We call those DNC conventions.
Yeah.
Goddamn Dixiecrats.
God damn it.
Oh.
Oh, this is good shit, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. Next up.
Okay.
So there's a video clip here talking about, y'all probably did hear about the scientists who've been offed recently, and this is not the first time. Like somebody mentions at one point, somebody mentioned to me at one point the rash of molecular biologists who mysteriously fucking died around fucking 9/11.
Yeah.
Kind of shit. Like maybe they knew something or could contradict something.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
this is from Defiant Ghost, the Defiant Ghost. Joe Rogan and Jay Anderson discussed the ideas of the assassinated MIT professor Nuno Loureiro.
None of your business.
None of my business. On geomagnetic reversals and lost civilizations. Quote, imagine if they killed him because he's telling us the Earth's about to reverse its magnetic poles. Loureiro was found dead in Massachusetts shortly after his lecture surfaced online. Authorities ruled it a robbery, but no arrests have been made. No.
But the things, though, is that we know that that's eventually going to happen.
Depending
like
on
this wouldn't be, groundbreaking research or anything.
That also wouldn't be the first time it happened.
No.
Possibly a recorded history, though. If the magnetic poles switched right now. Well, let's watch the video and then we can pontificate.
Yeah.
And this is 8 minutes, yo.
Requires periodic magnetic reversals to sustain its field.
Interesting.
No reversal equals no dynamo equals the magnetic field dissipates. The last time this happened, in the tweet it says Noah's flood. So
Sun Weatherman. Oh, I know both these guys.
This guy who has
Google whistleblower, yeah. Him on.
Is that not loading? The clip?
Transport Physics 101 fluid description.
It seems like the clip's not okay. Let's hear what he has to say. It's really interesting shit, man.
The Earth's magnetic field was constant in the last billion years. So, yeah, is it right that the Earth has lost 10% of its magnetic field in the last 150 years? And how come?
So, excellent question, Alec. Thank you. So, when I say the Earth's...
Say something before we get a takedown.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I was kind of fascinated. He's taking a long time.
I know. I've got something to do. I had to lean back over here. I went, wait, I can't do that. Click.
Yeah. So, I mean, Rogan typically is pretty cool about stuff like this, but yeah, you're right. We shouldn't push it.
It's hit and miss, bro. I know one person who says he gets hit by everything he does touching Rogan.
Really?
Yeah, I've never been hit myself that I'm aware of.
No, me neither. No, Rogan's always been cool with me as far as using his clips and shit goes. Of course, I don't pull him off of YouTube either. So, there's that. Yeah. That might have something to do with it. But I don't know. It's an interesting concept. I don't think it's going to be necessarily as drastic as all of that. You know, like if the poles reverse, you know, it's not going to. I don't think it's going to like completely upset our fucking world because I think it's happened multiple times. It's probably happened multiple times while humans have been a thing.
It has. We know that it has.
No. Since humans have been a thing, yes, but not since modern technology has occurred.
No.
You're talking about automatic. You remember the old mechanical diesels?
Yeah.
That's going to be all that drives.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
We might have to like redesign the fucking gizmo that makes the spark in there because of it just won't work like it used to. And neither will anything else. I mean,
well, sure, but we're also looking at like unprecedented solar activity too here recently, and I mean, there's every chance in the world that one of those fucking massive flares that keep spiking up is just going to wipe all of our fucking magnetic systems out.
Sure.
I mean, all of these ideas tie into the ancient apocalypse idea.
Yeah, and we can't do anything about any of this stuff anyway.
No.
You know, it's like it's either going to happen or it's not.
Yeah,
Either way,
just fucking deal with it.
I don't think it's going to be the end of human civilization. And
no,
you know,
yes, it would create a new dark age. Have you ever seen Transcendence?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. No.
Okay, in Transcendence, Johnny Depp plays computer programmer who builds a super AI that he then utilizes his own physical mind to create the mind that's operating the AI, transcending his physical self into an AI being.
Oh, was this with Keanu Reeves?
No, it was Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. Okay, I got the two of them mixed up for some reason, which makes no sense because one of them is an actor and the other one is just a really nice guy who's in movies.
The premise of the story is that at the very beginning of the movie, Johnny Depp is talking to his girlfriend, his wife, his significant other, and he's outside in his garden where he goes to be alone, and he's putting up a Faraday cage for his little sitting spot in his vineyard under a trellis, right? And it's not mentioned, referenced, or acknowledged throughout the rest of the film, but the very first act that this super AI does is wipe out access to anything electronic. If it's got more than 2 fucking chips in it, it is fried by him. Which strikes me as odd, right? Like that doesn't make any sense to me. Other than that, they don't do anything. They basically just resets us back to not quite the Stone Age, but more like the mid 30s, early 20s.
I think you know, like late like 19th, early 20th century isn't so bad. I mean, we look at what we've accomplished in that time. We can build on that.
But yes, and I don't disagree with that, but what I'm getting at is our civilization, the civilization that stands now, will fall.
All right, so
experiment might survive, but it will not be the same thing that it is now.
Sure, but that's going to be true of any major catastrophe or cataclysm is changing the. I mean, 9/11 changed what the American experiment was.
Yeah, and not for the better.
No, I'm just saying. This is like maybe a reset back to the 1920s wouldn't be such a bad fucking thing.
Well, this is one of the theories behind things like the pyramids as well, isn't it? That there was a different kind of technology that existed.
Like when they talk about storing the energy and that the gold caps were actually for, you know, like communication kind of shit.
Or that there was a greater reliance on sonic-based energy.
Well, they also had electrical batteries.
And the use of that.
Yeah, I mean they were huge. They were these big ass looking canopic jar looking things, but they did have ways to store electrical energy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We're in full blown Graham Hancock mode now.
No. There's a weapon in I don't remember what city in China, but it is a sword, a basic early Bronze Age sword, and it is one of the most phenomenal pieces of technology I've ever read about. because this is a Bronze Age weapon that utilized a bronze hardening mechanism by way of intentional contamination of various salts and carbons at certain mixes, and it creates a bronze that's slightly less hard as steel but still soft like bronze in the middle, and so the edge is razor sharp and has a chromium deposit on the razor's edge.
Primitive electrolysis.
The only way to have achieved this level of molecular control over the surface of this weapon is a combination of very complicated bronze casting techniques in conjunction with electrolysis and chemical heat treating after production. And what I'm getting at is we're talking about a culture that we revere for moving big fucking rocks also made a literal space age technology that we couldn't repeat today and would only be guessing at the methodology on it.
Well, there are a number of things from the ancient world that don't make sense in conjunction with our understanding of their level of technology and understanding, right? Like about the roads in the bottom of the ocean, right?
Yeah.
The Bimini roads.
Yeah.
Not just Bimini. There's others. And they're weird.
Yeah, I mean, there's some in the Mediterranean, there's some in the Atlantic, and in the Caribbean and whatnot, all of which lend slight credence to the idea that Atlantis was once a place above the waves, except there's nothing else down there. There's no other structures or anything like that. But those roads have lasted, and they're made of a kind of composite gypsum that we still can't replicate.
But then again, you put that next to the level of technology involved in the Roman concrete that self-seals. And I mean, there's no accounting for genius, dude.
Right. Well,
I've said this before, it doesn't take but one genius to completely alter the thought process of people around that genius. They see how he thinks, and while they're not geniuses, they learn to think in that layered pattern, right?
Yeah.
And so they're more efficiently doing things that were previously done less efficiently, and it sticks. It lasts from then until the next genius improves something else.
Well, imagine if there was one genius for every generation. Now multiply that by 500,000 years.
Right.
Sure.
It's easy to see how ancient people are actually far more advanced than we think they were.
Well, and take into account, like we talk about everything before, like history is what happened when people started writing shit down.
When what they wrote down started surviving.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, the general purpose, you ask them where history begins, and they'd be like, when people started writing shit down. Now, it doesn't say that the idea that is the only time in prehistory that happened. I don't buy that. I think that this, previous civilizations probably wrote it down too, probably discovered stuff. There were probably peoples long before, long forgotten by us, if we ever knew about them at all, just gone, just whatever. So I mean, I'm not saying that this couldn't be like a do-over kind of event. I just don't know that this is. I'm not as worried about it. I guess maybe because I have kind of an apocalyptic outlook on things anyway. But we have, even within our own, recorded history, there are massive gaps in knowledge, right? Like when the Library of Alexandria burned, for example, how much of those scrolls were saved?
Yeah.
And how much was lost? Now, we don't know what was in that library because obviously it burned. It could have been just a bunch of fucking sappy-ass love letters for all we fucking know.
Yeah.
But it also could have been the secrets of the fucking universe up to that point as we understood them.
Right. In fact, I would almost guarantee that's what it was as far as we understood them. So there's an account of, and I can't remember the guy, but I remember reading his account. He visited the Library of Alexandria about 80 years before it burned. And he went there specifically to go research Hermetism or something like that, and some Hermetic faith of specific. But what he was commenting on, which, I mean, he did a description of all the places he went and whatnot, like a travelogue kind of. But this particular bit always intrigued the hell out of me. He came across a group of people who basically lived in and around the library, and their entire purpose, there's like 40 of them from what he said, their entire purpose was trying to catalog the scrolls that were languages they didn't know, to try to figure out what language they were so that someone could go out and find someone who could read it to bring them back to the library so that they could classify it into its proper place. So they had an entire fucking wing dedicated to shit they couldn't read.
Yeah. The legacy of the Tower of Babel.
Yeah. That's an excellent way to put it.
Right.
I just want you to think
we do that
about,
too. We archive things that we can't understand yet either. I mean, until we found the Rosetta Stone, how much fucking ancient world artifacts and writings did we collect? We had no fucking idea how any of that went.
As well.
You know, yeah. I mean, without the Aztec Codex, you know, what good are all those fucking pictoglyphs on the ruins?
Right.
Yeah.
And so but we don't save the scrolls, not like this. We don't have a single vast library to accumulate all of human knowledge and then have I mean, like Rongo, right?
Mm-hmm.
We only have a handful of examples of its writing in the first place, so it's not real hard to keep that type of stuff. From what I understand, it was the way it was described was an entire wing was dedicated to shit they couldn't read. Now, was that ancient information from lost civilizations, or was it, you know, from some part of freaking India or whatever? You know,
yeah,
they were contemporaries but just couldn't read it.
The history and mythos of Sri Lanka is absolutely fascinating.
Sri Lanka, yes. Oh my God, yes. It is wild. That was one of the islands. All right, so I don't believe we evolved on Africa. I think we evolved on an island somewhere near Africa and then colonized Africa, right?
Well, I think the whole out of Africa thing has been thoroughly fucking debunked.
Yeah, I think we got sufficient evidence now to prove more of the multi-regional evolution hypothesis more than anything else.
Well,
I think if there was a singular origin point, it's much more likely to have come from the Fertile Crescent than from Africa.
Yeah, but the origin of civilization, that could be different.
All right, so let me pitch this real quick. How long are we going to be going? We're at the 2-hour mark.
Yeah, we can continue to go. This is honestly this discussion is a little bit more fascinating, I think, than the Rogan thing anyway.
You're familiar with the island of Sulawesi?
Nope.
Okay, Sulawesi is over there in the same chain of islands where they found Florensis, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Homo florensis, the Hobbit, right?
Yeah. Floresiensis, the Hobbit people.
Right. Ever since they have discovered the Hobbit, they've discovered 3 other islands in that area that also had small hominids of different species. One of these has denticular progression identical to our own, but about 1 million years older.
Okay.
The jaw structure of a mammal is one of the most difficult parts for evolution. It's one of the more stable features on evolutionary scales, right? How many teeth you have when they come in and when they fall out and how they process is something that just doesn't change a whole bunch over time unless it needs to, unless it's forced to, right? Sulawesi has these 3 islands around it. Apparently at some point in time in history, around 1 million years ago, some aspect of humanity landed on Sulawesi and survived long enough to also colonize these smaller islands, who were then individually evolved. The theory current goes that the original human population died off on Sulawesi for whatever reason, and then these smaller populations colonized the island and mixed and would recolonize back to their original islands through some method or another. Nobody's quite sure how that shit worked because this is supposedly before the boat was invented. So that's a big mystery. And then later, a secondary colonization takes place around 300,000 years ago. And that's most of this evidence we have on Sulawesi because it's heavily farmed and been heavily altered. Whereas these other small islands were A, very likely colonized by modern humans, and B, have virtually no expansive farming that takes place on them. And so on the little islands, we don't find humans, we find the little people. But then on the big island, we find 3 colonization periods of humans. The first colonization period being human-like, being something along the lines of like Homo habilis or Homo erectus, right? Something that's very basically humaniform, I suppose you'd say. And
humanoid.
Yeah, humanoid. But the issue with all of this is these original people have different dentition than any of the small islands, but the dentition that we have is more recent than the dentition on this island. And so there is a small possible chance and a fairly narrow window in which this particular island's hominid could have left the island, gone to Sulawesi, became a larger population. Sulawesi is a volcanic island, which would something like Hawaii, which would give them access to fire over a few thousand years where it was safe and over there and you could go poke it with a stick, right? It fits all of the needed criteria for some place to act as a cultural steam pot, right? A cultural pressure cooker where there's lots of strife and lots of things trying to kill you and lots of difficulty. And so the need for the intellect rises to the challenge instead of the physical adaptations. And so them leaving this island and colonizing Sulawesi, or rather leaving Sulawesi and colonizing Africa would explain the apparent out of Africa phenotypes without upsetting any of the taxological or chronological situations you find in Olduvai Gorge and whatnot. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Might not have explained it well.
No, I think you did. I think you explained it pretty well. I think we're still missing too much information to be sure.
Well, we have what I call the gate method. It's a deductive reasoning technique you utilize to take limited information and put into a linear chain of thought.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're at A.
It's just extrapolation. Yeah.
Yeah. We exist. So clearly certain things took place, right? We domesticated fire. We developed farming. We can swim. We have boats. You know, these things happen. We know these things happen. But to get from a chimpanzee-like critter like Australopithecus to G, which is where the first person domesticates fire, there are certain gates you have to cross through. And I don't think they can take place on a vast continent because there's too much genetic diversity available to blanket out any tiny.
You're thinking more like a crucible kind of scenario.
Exactly. That's why I call it a pressure cooker. You put them on a smaller island, and it's like compressing time down on them because they have a limited genetic capacity. And for whatever reason, maybe they had a massive amount of protein available, but not a whole bunch of carbohydrates. And so rather than it being muscles and bones and teeth that developed, it became the brain. And the rest of the body, which is what we see today even in Africans, Indians, whatever, the body is largely a life support system for the singular organ in our skull.
Yeah.
And in order to domesticate fire, you have to have a position and location and a culture that lives long enough in the shadow of that fire to lose its instinctive fear of it, enough to domesticate it. It's kind of the same thing with farming. It would take a culture that lived in a singular area long enough to realize that if you carry seeds from one place and drop them in another, you can plant new things over here like the good things over there. Right?
You make a good argument. You do.
And on top of that, it has to be a place where enough protein exists freely available that the entire population can benefit from the genetic changes that allow them to utilize that protein better. And there's no better source of protein on Earth than a beach strand covered in fucking seashells. So there would be a limit to the size of the island. It can't be too big and it can't be too small. And I'm not saying this happened on Sulawesi necessarily. I'm saying that this scenario may have repeated itself several times, you know,
in isolated locations.
In isolated locations where, and I'm not saying like white people evolved on one island and black people evolved, nothing like that. I'm talking about the differences between us and the people that were on the mainland would be visually inconsequential. Right.
So what you're saying is The Beach is actually your favorite movie of all time.
Wasn't that one about drug abuse?
Pretty much is. It's about abuse in general, actually.
I mean, inspiration, I guess, strikes the most unlikely places sometimes. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, because I'm kind of, what I'm visualizing is I forget what they're called. I might have to look it up here. But the South American Amazonian calderas, right? The ones that are like real isolated ecosystems, right? But they're totally distinct from the one right next to them.
The plateaus that are up in the sky or the holes that are over there, because both of these are things.
Yeah, no, like you get these volcanic mountains, right? And the calderas are, I mean, these mountains are not active, right? So in the caldera, in the bowl where the lava would normally be coming out of, entire ecosystems have evolved that are completely isolated and separate from everything outside of there. Right? They're finding species that are only found in a single caldera.
You know how fish get to those lakes?
I would imagine it probably has something to do with water spouts or something of that nature.
No. It was determined a while back. Somebody was wondering that very thing. Landlocked lakes that have no exit to any other body of water, how do they get fish without people putting them in there? And so somebody started checking bird poop. Birds eat fish. Fish have eggs, and something like 2% of the eggs can survive passage all the way through a bird's digestive system. And so an eagle catches a fish and eats it, and then goes and hangs out in the caldera, poops in the water, and poof, you have fish in the water.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. There's a specific word for these specifically isolated locations that I find myself describing what they are rather than actually using the specific word. But like, you remember that movie Arachnophobia?
Yes.
Okay. So the big evil spider that comes to America on the corpse guy and breeds with the little local spiders and makes something new and deadly. That big evil spider came from one of these places that I'm describing. That was totally unique, right? And there'd be like, say there's three volcanic mountains. Each of them has a caldera. In each caldera is an ecosystem that is wholly and distinctly unique, despite being less than a fucking half a mile apart from each other.
Right.
Kind of thing. So they exist in sort of almost like a crucible of evolution.
Lost world.
Right. Yeah. So similar species found their way into each of these mountains and then took completely divergent paths from there.
Yeah.
Essentially.
You ever heard of the Sky Islands?
Maybe. I don't know.
Also in South America, there are these vast plateaus, and the plateaus range from like a mesa like you'd see in the desert Southwest to possibly, 100, 150 square miles. And they don't have a caldera, but they are exactly what you find on the ground, except there is no transverse between the surface of the plateau up top and the actual rainforest below.
Yeah, I think I've seen some stuff on that. Yeah.
Each one of these things, like you're talking about, has completely separate ecology to the nearby ones. And the ecology seems to largely be arranged by things that bird of prey, like the animals. You have, insects and some lizards that can climb and a handful of other things. But the animals that are up there are things that are small enough for a bird to pick up and big enough to escape before it got eaten.
Yeah, that'd do it. Like you seen that? You remember a while back? Nomi showed us this video of this eagle trying to pick up a mountain goat on the side of a mountain. Anyway, long story short, and spoiler alert, the goat kicks its way free, but it's like 400 feet up, so it doesn't end well for the goat.
If only he'd hit the ground head first,
right?
Yeah.
But I mean, this wasn't like a juvenile goat either. I mean,
yeah.
It was a full-on mountain goat, and like while they're not like massive animals or anything, it's still pretty. I mean, like a fucking bird picked it up. These are big birds, man.
I was gonna say they're big fucking birds, though.
Right. Sure. Wasn't there something in a Terry Pratchett novel about a turtle being dropped by?
Yes, that was in Small Gods. It was the entire impetus for the plot, because that turtle was not actually a turtle. It was the god Om, who was reduced to a form like a turtle because of lack of belief. Because he only really had one believer, and he didn't really believe until he dropped in front of him as a one-eyed turtle.
Yeah.
Right. And there he was.
Yeah,
that's a wild book, dude.
It's
you
very
just did
good book.
a very, very good job of describing it, because I couldn't have made it so succinct.
Yeah, he did. If you don't read Terry Pratchett, you should. He's got a book on just about fucking everything, and it's all done in a fictionalized, satirical way, and it's very funny and it's very insightful, and they're a lot of fucking fun to read. Plus, he has footnotes, really entertaining footnotes.
Right,
permeating everything.
Yeah.
What's really
he's got footnotes for some of his footnotes.
What's really wild about it is the lore of the Terry Pratchett verse is the lore of our universe, but irony.
yeah, and that one's about religion, and which is really interesting, because I don't believe, like, so he was an avowed atheist, right? He talked about it quite a bit. But when he wrote faith, when he wrote about religion, he would go out of his way sometimes to mock religion and all that stuff and talk about how silly this was and how silly that was. But when he wrote people who truly believed, he wrote them well.
They believed.
He didn't come off as mockery. It came off as, this guy knows what he's fucking talking about.
And there's a bunch of excellent examples of that, but my favorite, I think, was the sweeper in the
Lutzow.
Yeah. The depiction, the way he handled that was so on point that after I read the book, I set it down and was going to go read a different book, and then read like a chapter or two, and then went back and picked it up and read it again, because I realized I'd made a critical error. These were all the same person. Right? He is the master of time, and as such is constantly running across himself, but the paradox can't happen. It just can't. And so the easiest way for paradox not to take place is for you not to carry information from one location to another. And so he just didn't know. Right? Anyway.
Oh, he's just about the most easygoing motherfucker too for the master of all time and space. Like, I think it was actually in Thief of Time where one of the characters like gets introduced to the monks of history, and they're just like, you need to go talk to the sweeper. And so he goes down there and he's like, what belt are you? Because they're all like fucking ninja monks or whatever. Yeah. And he's like, oh, I mean, I got this cord here that keeps my pants up, you know. And he's like, well, I mean, like, how do you have your you know, how do people know what rank you are? Everybody records you with this like weird respect. He's like, well, I don't know, I have a broom and I sweep.
Yeah.
He's just the most humble son of a bitch ever.
It's really hard to explain it because anything you say about it actually makes it sound cooler than it actually is, because it's a very other than the conceptual fact that you're dealing with the actual master of time and space, and everyone in this temple, they don't worship him because he won't let them. They would if he turned his back for just a second, but he won't. And so they have to be extremely respectful, but not too respectful, or they'll find their asses on some volcanic island right before a cataclysm.
It's a massive, for something that was basically just purely satire of the world that we live in. It is a massively complex, living, breathing world of its own, with its own timeline, its own history, its own, you know, lives occurring, and even, you know, unlives. And you know, there's a whole there's a group of fucking vampires who have sworn off consuming fucking blood.
Yeah.
They're called the Black Ribboners. They're like teetotalers, but for vampires.
I miss that, man.
Me too, man. Me too. Like, one of my favorite of the Black Ribboners is Otto Creek, the photographer for the newspaper, right? Because he's fascinated with light, but light is very bad for vampires. So he's figuring out how to like make flashes work, so he can make, like, you know, iconographs, which are like photographs but painted by very tiny demons in a box. But in order to give them enough light, he uses salamanders, which absorb sunlight all day, and when you scare them, they release it all at once, and there's your flash, right? And every time that happens, every time he takes a peek, he's like, now smile, flash. Oh, damn, poof. He turns into ash.
Fucking shit, it hurts.
The guy's taken to carrying a vial of fucking blood and glass on his neck, so that when he turns into dust, it shatters and turns him back.
And the point that all of this is done for is the sacrifice and dedication of an artist.
Yeah. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
You know, and he's sitting there. I think there's a passage where he's talking to Vimes in what book was it? I want to say it was in one of the later Vimes books when he's got a lordship. Anyway, he's talking to Otto, and he was just like, I know you're affecting that accent. I know you don't have to talk with that accent. And Otto's like, yeah, but it's expected, is it not? Yeah. It's like, you grew up not that far from here. You don't have to talk like that. And he was like, yeah, but the locals seem to like it very much.
Yeah, no, and that is the funny point. The locals, okay. Typically when townies find a vampire, there's the whole pitchforks and stakes through the heart start happening. But Otto is such a nice guy and such a friendly fellow. and he's always got his black ribbon on and only accepts blood from volunteers and, you know, the thieves that get caught.
Right.
Got to deal with the Assassin's Guild.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's
you get the impression that might be a nefarious thing, but according to Lord Vetinari, a well-managed Assassin's Guild.
Yes. Well, it's because he knows crime's going to happen one way or the other, so it might as well be organized under him.
Yeah. So as such, every assassin in the city is registered like a lethal weapon.
Yeah. You know, I mean, there's even cross guild shit going on where they all have to obey certain rules. Like the thieves can knock people out, but they can't kill them, or the Assassin's Guild will come for them, and the assassins can't like steal somebody's wallet off of somebody they just made a corpse, or Thieves Guild will come after them and beat the shit out of them.
And one more point about all of that stupidity. Fuck it, never mind.
No, it's cool, but
Yeah,
seriously, go read the books. They're fucking fantastic. They're brilliantly written, and these characters we've been talking about, these are side characters. These are not even main fucking characters. Like it's very, very rich. It's very worth reading. And on that note, I think we should probably close down the stream soon. So we've got a whole bunch of other topics we didn't get to. We'll get to them another time, or we won't. Whatever. We might bring the Joe Rogan thing back though, because that it is an interesting topic. I just think that we veered off into more interesting territory there. But that said, no, this has been a good show. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks, chat, for hanging out and putting up with us. Why don't we go around the horn and let people know where we are and where we can be found, and then we'll get the fuck out of here. Abe, let's start with you.
Just check out my ex. Abe's gonna get you.
Short and sweet.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, newcomers, it used to take half an hour for him to get his shit out.
Yeah, if I were to list that shit, we'd be here for another fucking hour.
That's why I'm in the habit of starting with them, actually. All right, Sasquatch. I know you're gonna probably let your voice heal for a little while, but
actually, I have a show tomorrow, the Blast Ladies. And get this, Tuesday, the Naughty Corner, I'm rehired. Both of those at 8 p.m. Eastern.
As a producer, or just eye candy still?
Both. All the way through. At any random night, you can catch me on the Powdered Dusties if he's doing something and I'm awake and not too sick. I'll go do that stuff.
Nice.
But we're starting. I got a new guy. I got a new person. I haven't done an interview with him. His name's Chuck from Tennessee, or Chuck in Tennessee, and he wants to put together an AA style recovery channel, and he's wanting to set it up as like an intro testimonial, open panel kind of thing, where if you're a YouTuber, you come in with a unknown, anonymous, literally anonymous, was kind of the implication that I got. We haven't talked about details yet, and I don't know when it's going to be, but as a recovering addict myself, I have volunteered my effort, time, and skill to make this happen as well as possible. And if anybody's interested in such things, just subscribe to the channel. I'll be restreaming the first few of them. And that's my voice.
All right. Yeah, go check them out. Check everybody out who's on panel here, and a number of people who didn't make it today. Their links are in the description below, at least as far as their YouTube channels go. Obviously, I'm lazy, so I did not include all their links on all the platforms. Just you'll figure it out. It's fine. Speaking of the one of the only people who has multiple links in the description below, Lawrence Knight, if you are there, do you have anything you want to shill before we go? I don't think he's there. I don't think he's there. All right, so I'll show for him. He's got a number of things that he's doing, as well as Abyssal Musings on this channel on Friday nights, which he puts all that shit together and makes that show happen. He's also getting shit rolling over on Knight's Lore, which is his second channel. The link for that is in the description below. He just put out a video, I think yesterday morning, just came up. And he's doing more consistent content over there, so please do go and support him if you would. Also, he works pretty hard for as a moderator for a number of different channels, including Sevi. I don't know actually the name of her channel, the gaming channel, but he does moderation over there, and he also does moderation, and he puts together all of the topic lists and stuff for Amira on Exiled Lioness too. So whenever she goes live, you can usually find him in either of those places as well. And I think he's a frequent guest on Joker Voice's channel on Wednesday nights for their wrestling show. So just search up the Joker's Voice, all caps, and that'll take you right over there as well. Anything else he's got going on, I'm not too sure about, but there may be stuff coming out. I'm sure he'll announce it in the future and all that stuff. As for myself, you're pretty much looking at it. If Amira goes live tonight, I'll be helping out over there as well. Otherwise, between here and next Friday, when we start up with Abyssal Musings again, it's mostly going to be Code Vein 2, which I will be doing later tonight at some point. And then again, Abyssal Musings next Friday. I'm also on Beelzebub on the channel Beelzehub. Immediately after that, we'll be back here for more Screaming to the Void next week. And if and when we ever get back around to doing Stream of Conscious on the Renaissance Nerds channel, I'll be doing that on the occasional Monday as well. So look out for that as well. And thank you all for being here. Appreciate y'all. One more thing before we go. We did hit 400 subscribers on the 4th anniversary of the first upload that I ever put out on this fucking platform. So thank you guys for that. Appreciate all of you. Sincerely. Have a great night. Thanks for coming. We'll see y'all soon. And remember, it could always be worse. It could be raining flaming cobras. Bye, everybody.
Bye.